Anyway, we're starting. All right, guys. Gobble gobble. Here's our Thanksgiving show. Hey, everybody, say hi. We're the Fantastic-4. We got Nick, we got Jose, we got Jeffy Poo over there. No Dolphin game because they have the bye. Nothing really to talk about. So we decided to do kind of a mid-season little awards. Very simple. Offensive player of the year, defensive player of the year, and the most important thing that's happened so far this season, whatever the event is, whatever you want to call it, play of the year, event of the year, whatever. Um, I'm going to start right off with let's go for defense. What do you say, guys? You're cool.
Sounds
Oh,
good.
and don't forget, we'll throw it to Nick. Nick gets to have the special teams guy. We'll get to
Ah,
that. Let's do defense, and I'm going to start with Jeff because he wants to say something right away. Who's your defensive star of the year?
Oh well, that's easy. I mean, there's no question that it's Brooks, Jordan Brooks. Defensive MVP for sure. He's actually closing in on Zach Thomas's season record with tackles. I mean, he could eclipse that, and you break a record set by Zach Thomas with the Dolphins. That's a major milestone right there.
So, um, where did he come from? How all of a sudden this is a guy nobody had on the radar at all, and all of a sudden he's player of the year. How does this happen?
That's a good question. I'm still trying to figure out where he
You
came
know,
from.
you know what's
I never heard of him.
you know what's interesting? He came from the same spot that um you know uh oh, what was his name? Zach Thomas
Elliot.
came
Oh,
Texas Tech,
Oh,
right? He's a Texas Tech graduate, 6 foot, 240 pounds. So he's like right in Zach's,
hmm, that's a
he's
good
good.
point.
former former Seahawk.
We wouldn't have a deep we wouldn't win any of these games if it wasn't for Jordan Brooks. So
yeah.
he keeps us in these games, and the leadership that the film that you watch of him on the sidelines, where he's like, it's not over, the game's not over, and he's just going down the line, he's charging everybody up after they've already had a great play. They've
Mm-hmm.
recovered a fumble, and he's like, it's not over. Don't, just don't. This thing is not. We're going. And he goes right down the line, charges them all up, and he's got that C, and he's earned that C. So Jordan Brooks, man, number one defense. Is he a rookie?
No,
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 no.
okay.
I'm
former Seahawk.
Former C. That's right. That's
I'm
right.
assuming he's your guy too, Jose.
Well, yeah, I mean, pretty much all these are going to be the same. It's going to be, I can't see how anybody would pick anybody but, Jordan Brooks, right? It's going to be probably for Jordan Brooks.
Nick.
Jordan
My
Brooks.
turn.
Yeah.
Now I
Who's
got
your-
Jordan Brooks too, but I'm gonna give an honorable mention to Bradley Chubb.
To me,
Yeah.
Chubb has been having a subpar season. Maybe because maybe the teams are running away from him or something, or trying
Yeah,
or double, triple teaming him. But he doesn't have the stats that you would expect him to have.
no, I think he
But he
has like
does have disruptive plays. A lot of
Yeah.
stuff he does doesn't
yeah,
show up on the stat sheet.
he has 5.5 sacks, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, for me, the Miami Dolphins defensive player so far, the most important player in the Dolphins defense this year, has been Jalen Phillips.
Yeah,
Okay.
The best thing that
As
ever
soon as
happened,
he was
right?
gone, as soon as he left and started saying how great and how happy he was in Philadelphia, the Dolphins remind me of the 85. The Dolphin defense reminds me of the 85 Bears. Okay. it's
that's good.
it's amazing what he's
No.
done. I thank him. I think the Dolphins should put his name on the Ring of Honor after this season. um,
Oh boy,
Uh,
retired number.
seriously,
Yeah,
if I had a vote,
guys,
if I had a vote, he'd be defensive player of the year and Dolphin MVP. No.
Although I do want to do another couple shout outs on the defense.
Go for it.
Minka Fitzpatrick, since he's gotten here playing safety, he's really
Mhm.
brought that secondary together.
Mhm.
And also Jack Jones, who got that big interception in overtime in
And the
where was it,
the
Spain.
poke for the fumble.
Mhm.
Yeah.
The
So
poke
those
for the
are a
fumble was
couple
huge.
of honorable mentions there for the defense.
Well,
I
you got to
think.
give it to Minka Fitzpatrick just for having a name like Minka.
Yeah.
So, I mean, come on, how can you not love a guy with a name like that? That's so far to me, that's been the story of this season is the change. Let's face it, earlier this year, the Dolphin defense was like,
Terrible.
pretty bad. And then these last few games, thank
Like,
you, Jalen Phillips. They've been there's like, we dare you to try anything against them now. It's amazing. Okay, Nick. Here we go. Special teams. You do it. I want you to start with who's your special teams guy because I can see you're like chomping at the bit.
Who's my favorite?
Who's the player? Special teams guy of the year.
Come on. Who else but Jake Bailey?
Jake Bailey,
Come on.
Mr. Punter.
That guy punts that ball well.
Yeah, I can see that. He's
done a couple of sand wedge shots there. It hits down on the 1 or 2 yard line, and then has the rollback.
Yep.
Punter is one of those positions, where if you met you're supposed to be good, but you can't be too good because you don't want to outkick your coverage either. If you boom the ball way back there, but then give the guy seconds to get up ahead of steam, run back, you're screwed also. And if you're kicking out of the end zone also. So punter is one of those positions where you just got to be good, but you can't be too good. You can't just, it's not like a kicker.
45 yards. So I think that's pretty good. 45 yards on a punt.
Yeah.
For average.
That's not bad.
And that's the net with the return yardage taken away. As long as 64, guy could punt the whole length of the field. You let him, he'll do it.
And the other special teams guy that everybody always forgets and is so important, and it's such a hard position, long snapper.
Yeah.
Cardona.
Yeah. Long snapper is one of those positions where every team has one player, and that's his only job. It's a long snapper. Because you just can't get a regular center or somebody else. That's a very specific skill.
Yeah.
I mean,
if your center sucks and he just snaps it over the QB all the time, then you got a long snapper.
Yeah. On regular offensive plays, the center will snap it even in the shotgun. He's only throwing it back 3 or 4 yards. He's just tossing it back. That's a good 12 yards to snapping that ball back to a punter, and it's got to be with velocity. You just can't just lob it back there. And to do that bent over between your legs with a defensive guy ready to snap your head off right there.
Well, no, the rule says that nobody can line up on the long snapper.
Right.
So they don't really have to hit anybody.
Yeah, they're not head on, but they're off to the side and they're nailing the long snapper. You're getting hit either way.
Not the kind of snapper I
like this.
So what's that name, Tony? Who's the long snapper?
Joe Cardona.
Joe Cardona.
They signed him this year.
Usually the long snapper is like a backup tight end. His other job is if all the other tight ends go down, then he can come in and play tight end too.
Remember, it used to be QB2, right?
QB2.
It would be QB. It would be the second string quarterback.
That's usually the guy who.
That's the holder.
That's the holder.
Yeah. Okay. Well, which one were we not talking about? The holder?
No, we're talking about the long snapper, the guy who snaps the ball on field goals and then to the punter. And the guy's been doing it for 10. He's been 10 years in the NFL being a long snapper. That's not bad, and even at the league minimum,
that's a pretty good living right there.
That's a real good living.
What's he making there? He's making what's the minimum? 500 grand, 600 grand,
1.1 million.
Yeah, I don't think any NFL player is making over $1 million a year.
Yeah, I think the minimum is 1.1.
It's a skill, but you might be.
He's doing all right
if you're involved in 7 or 8 plays a game.
Let's see.
even if your team's scoring a lot of touchdowns and extra points, he might be a dozen plays a game. You know,
And he
I
has
mean,
gone down and made the tackle a few
if he's
times.
been investing any of that in the
yeah.
last 3 or 4 years, been like a 20% gain. He's doing fine.
No, he's doing just fine, just fine. All right, guys.
We still on that. We haven't heard Tony's.
Jose, who's your special teams guy?
Jose's special team guy.
Same guy, Jake Bailey, right? He's a great
Big
player.
Bill.
What's his name?
What's his name?
The guy that boots it.
It's a Jake Bailey.
Well, I'm gonna go with somebody else. I'm gonna go with Riley Patterson, our field goal kicker. He has come in. It was a backup kicker, since Sanders has been injured all season long, and he's come in, and I think he's missed maybe 2 field goals all season long. So I'm giving him my MVP.
He's only had one over 50, and he missed that one. But he's perfect between 40 and 49. So he's got 9 field goals there.
He's done good, but I'm waiting to see. I'm going to reserve judgment on him until he's in a pressure situation. 10 seconds left. You got to win the game. Got to make it to win the game. So
yeah, but still 40 to 49.
He did that in Spain, didn't he? He did that in Spain.
Yeah, that was a chip shot.
Coach on first down says, "Get out there and win this game for us."
Yeah, clutch, man. It was clutch.
That was a chip shot, and it was on first down. It was like, hey, don't worry. If they bobble it, we get another shot and everything. So
he's doing well.
I'm talking about that 50-yarder,
Yeah, 50-yarder with 2 seconds to go in the snow.
He's doing well kicking the field goals and extra points, but he kind of burns us on the kickoff sometimes with his placement.
So just on returns, Malik Washington has 662 yards in return yards, right, on 25 attempts. He's averaging 26 yards a return.
That's a lot of attempts.
That's hats off to Malik Washington for being a decent returner.
Maybe he should be our MVP on special teams.
That's one of the statistics that could be good, could be bad. It's good he's getting a lot of yards, but then again, why is he being kicked off to? Yeah, why are you being kicked off to so many times?
We gave up 40 points a game.
You want to do that once a game, right? Just once a game.
Yeah.
The other guy has like 515 yards. So Eskridge, right? He's got on 20 attempts, So we got pretty good return game going on.
And unfortunately, you want a good return game, but you don't want to get a lot of practice at returning kicks.
No.
That's for sure.
Yeah. Ollie Gordon has 1 return, and he averages 25 yards a return.
Yeah, well, how about and Fulton Walker? How's he doing?
Fulton Walker.
I don't see it.
All right, so where are we at? We're to offense now, right?
Offense, and I swear it's going to be the same. I know it's going to be the same name, everything. So we're going to start with Jose this time. Who's your offensive player of the year?
Oh, come on, man! It's Achane, right? Mr. Electricity. Yeah,
wrong. It's Joe Cardona, the long snapper.
Hey, you know what? I'm going to tell you right now. It's the center. That center that we have that's going out there, getting into the secondary and creaming the linebackers and the secondary. And that line has been spreading out pretty good the last few weeks. I mean, we've won 3 out of the last 4. So, and the running game is coming on there at the end. I'd like to see some more Ollie Gordon packages in the 3rd and 4th quarter and just kind of cream, start to kind of lean on the defenses. But obviously, HN is just setting the pace. And you got to hand it to him because he's through those he's into the secondary so fast. He is so quick. And he's lost a step. To be honest with you, when we saw him when he first came out, he was faster than that. And even the speed that he has right now is remarkable. And it's going to be HN all the way around. 4 stars for Achan. What else? What else can you say? I'll pass it on to Jeff.
Yeah, it's definitely Achan. I think we are all in agreement on that. It's to this point, it's honorable mentions now. Who's the second guy? And I'm gonna say Ollie Gordon. I think he's on offense. He's our honorable mention second MVP guy that could come in there and move the pile when you need that 3rd and 1. 4th and 1. He can go in there and get that yard for you, and that's pretty important. If you want to win football games, you got to be able to. You ought to get that 3rd and 1 converted. Nick, who's your guy?
It's Achan. I mean, yeah, you can't not pick Achan. And honestly, it would be nice to see a little more Ollie Gordon, but it's hard because I wouldn't take the ball out of the hot hand.
Yeah.
Even with how you say he's kind of lost a step, which is probably right. I haven't really paid that much attention to it, but I would say he probably bulked up a little bit
That's
because
it.
he's breaking a lot of tackles,
Yeah.
trying to get out of that. I'm just a speedster kind of guy.
He is so good.
Get more into that Saquon Barkley kind of guy who can run strong. But he's the guy. And if I'm going to give it to a second person, I'm going to go Waddle
Yeah.
just out of short
He has
touches.
been stepping it up.
Yeah, Ollie Gordon's gotten us those really tough first downs, which is crucial. We need those. But without Waddle, there's no one on this team getting the ball on offense outside of HN.
I gotta agree. It's Achan. He's the guy right now. He does need to get. They are running him a lot. So in the seasons, it's a long season. So maybe he does need to give the ball to somebody else a little bit more.
I think especially towards the end of the game,
Mm-hmm.
right? He's been running, 3 good quarters. A fresh Ollie Gordon on a defense is starting to wear. I think at least put in an Ollie Gordon package for a series or two, and for the love of man, give me a play action pass when we're on the 2-yard line once or twice.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, don't get stuffed every single time. You already got the reputation of running it 4 straight times. I mean,
Achan's good, but he's not a power back.
no, he's not.
He's
Not between the tackles.
I'm glad you mentioned the Dolphins center, Aaron Brewer, though.
Mm-hmm.
I've been seeing some highlights of this guy. I think he's turning into all pro material at center.
Unbelievable what he's doing.
He's doing some. I mean, it's like, damn, that's good. That's like Jim Langer type stuff there.
They pull him. They pull him.
They pull him, and pulling center is not an easy thing to do.
No.
And I've got a couple more honorable mentions there for offense. I think number 64 eligible, Daniel Brunskill is his name. Ever since they've been running that tackle eligible package, that running game has just taken off. And I think that's a lot to do with it. And also our backup tight end since Waller's been down is number 85. Greg Dulcich. I'm not sure I'm pronouncing that correctly, but he's had some big plays, and hats off to him. I think we're going to see a lot more of him in this next game too. So a couple of honorable mentions there on offense.
I know that our next thing is supposed to be, the event or the play or whatever of the year.
Or the rookie.
I was going to bring up right now, just kind of throw it out there. What's missing from this Dolphins team? You mentioned tight end. The Dolphins haven't had a good tight end, a real.
Well, we had one last year, and they gave him away.
Yeah.
They let him go.
This year is like, if a tight end catches 3 passes a game, that's like, wow. I mean, I don't know what McDaniel's theory is when it comes to tight ends. Maybe he just goes, we're not going to throw the tight ends because we don't have any really good ones. I think that's a missing tool of this Dolphins offense. The defense, I'm not going to touch because the last few weeks has been lights out. But I think that's something that the Dolphins, aside from a quarterback, that's something the Dolphins need to look into. And let's not start talking about replacing Tua, because that's a rabbit hole we'll never get out of.
Yeah.
Rookie of the year, who do you got? Go back up. We'll start with Nick, because he looks like I have no rookie. Come on.
I haven't. There's no rookie of the year on this team.
Yeah, I was
Honestly,
gonna say,
if you're
yeah.
gonna,
Yeah, there is.
you'd
Of course
say
there
Ollie
is.
Gordon,
Yeah.
but I mean, the guy's got 150 yards.
They,
I'm not screaming, woo!
they're going to give
Well,
the
he's our
trophy.
best rookie. So
MVP.
Yeah, they're going to give it to somebody, but there's nobody
Yeah.
said, "Hey, that's the rookie, our future guy." There's nobody.
He's really good, but if you're going off of what he's done, there's not a lot.
He's not going to be at the ballot at the end of the year with the sports writers picking rookie of the year. He's not going to be at the top.
Yeah,
well,
I don't
he's a
think
short yardage guy, so he's not going to have big numbers. You know, he's gonna go in there and get you your 3 yards when you only need 2. So
Yeah.
you know, so that's why I think he is the rookie MVP of this team. I would say an honorable mention would be Jonah. I'm not even going to try to say his name. Is our left guard over there next to Paul. That left side is really solidified over the last couple games. I think they struggled a lot the first, 5 or 6 games of the year. They were really struggling, but I think they've really come together. Some players take longer than others to develop, and I think that over the last few games he's really come on strong. So that would be my honorable mention for the rookies. We drafted 8 draft picks, and all 8 of them are still on the team. And we didn't have a third or fourth round pick at all. So most of these guys are, between 5th and 7th rounders, and they're still on the team and they're contributing. So,
and don't forget about Ken Grant or Kenneth Grant.
Yeah, Kenny G.
Yeah, Kenny
G.
He
plays clarinet also.
Yeah, he's doing pretty good as a run stopper.
I think the 2 of them suck. I'm sorry.
I'm
not saying that there's
Jordan Phillips, the new rookie. Jordan Phillips, I think, is outperforming Kenny Grant right now. Is our top rookie defensive lineman. We drafted like 3 defensive linemen, in the draft, and with Kenny Grant being the number 1 overall pick for us. But I think Jordan Phillips was a 5th rounder, and I think right now he's outperforming Kenny Grant.
Yeah, he was a first rounder, wasn't he? Ken Grant was
he was our first round pick,
number 13. Yeah.
All right, I'm going to go to the event, the play, whatever the year so far this season, and Jeff just handed me in a silver platter. He said he resigned, mutual agreement. He was fired. Chris Greer was given the walking papers, and Jeff just pointed out we drafted 8 players, and none of them have been any kind of significant contribution. These are all Chris Greer guys. It's been years since you really got excited. The Dolphins got a good draft coming up, and we're going to get some great players because we knew Chris Greer was going to pick,
either injured or a subpar player.
Yeah, and the only really exciting move he ever made as a Dolphin general manager was signing Tyreek Hill, and even that was like, really? Yeah, he's great, but he's also trouble.
Expensive.
Yeah, and expensive.
The re-signing of him was an error.
Yeah.
Those were all fatal moves.
Yeah.
The re-signing of Tua, the re-signing of Tyreek.
Before we get into your guys' pick for the move of the year, I just want to say something I've read and I've heard. Tyreek Hill is now saying, "Oh man, I don't want to leave the Dolphins. I want to think," because Rosenhaus is manager, saying, "Oh, I'm just misunderstood. I was just playing around and wants to stay," because he knows nobody wants him. And word is that he ain't even going to be back next year, if he's back ever at all.
Well, what I heard is that he's on schedule.
So what? So we can. Well, if he comes back, we have to honor his contract, right?
Yeah.
So, and he's not going to quit.
And nobody's going to trade for him.
From what I heard, he's on schedule. His rehab is going well, and he's on schedule for returning next season. So
all right. Let's see what happens.
Yeah.
But He has no guaranteed money.
I'm going to ask you a question, Jeff. When have you ever heard of a player being injured and he was not on schedule for return? Everybody's out. They always
there's
The whole NFL.
they always say, "Oh, I'm right on the thing."
We have the technology.
our right tackle was supposed to be back weeks ago, and he's not been on schedule. He's actually taking longer. What's his name? Austin
Jackson.
Oh,
Yeah.
We'll talk about
Jackson
Tyreek
Austin
Hill
Johnson.
being
talking
on
about Austin
schedule
Powers?
when training camp opens next summer.
Yeah, he might not be ready for training camp, but I think that he'll be coming along somewhere next season.
Snap one, right?
He's going deep. Snap one, 90-yard touchdown.
And let's face it, he had already lost the step. Man, my camera's having all kinds of fun.
Yeah,
today.
it's like, hey,
whoa.
what you doing?
He already lost the step already this year. He's been playing for a while, so we'll see. Anyway, Tyreek Hill, blah, 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 blah. Jose, what's your event?
That was it. I think
moment?
Tyreek Hill getting injured was huge for us because I thought he was a crutch, and we had to learn how to play football after that, and we had to learn how to run. We had to learn how to get another wide receiver involved. So, and that took a little time, but I mean, we're 3 out of 4. Let's see what happens here from this point on. But I think losing Tyreek was big for us because he commanded 2 people over on that side the whole time, and coach could depend on that, and then it became more of a balance thing. And now it's like 8 men in a box. So for us, we've learned how to run the ball. We've learned how to win without Tyreek, and so I think Tyreek was a big deal for us. Beyond, I think it was even more significant than Chris Greer. I'll pass it on.
Jeff.
For me, it was winning a game in Europe. The Dolphins have historically played terrible overseas.
Okay.
They would go lose to really bad teams, and so just winning that game in Spain. The rain in Spain falls mainly on the plains, and the Dolphins won the game
in the rain.
All that matters. And so, to me, it was finally getting that win in Europe. So maybe we can do that again. Nice steering wheel back there, by the way.
Thank you. All right, Nick.
We're getting a tour over here.
I don't know what's going on with this thing. Nick.
Moment I would have to go with. We beat the Bills.
That was huge. Yeah,
That's
good. You nailed it.
That was a good one. That was a good one.
I gotta
sums it all up.
All right, guys.
That was the monkey off the back.
It was big one.
Like, he dropped the mic. I mean, he just walked off on that.
Yeah. All right. We had a review. We got the Saints coming up. I don't even ask who you guys think is going to win because this is one of those games where the Dolphins have to win. It's come on. I mean, this shouldn't even be close. So we've had some time, and Jeff wants give a little thing there because how it's been kind of slow. He wants to talk about some of the other sports teams in South Florida. Go.
Is that what we're doing now?
Do it now.
Okay. We are going to do our second installment of the South Florida sports scene. We call it The Scene.
The Scene.
The Scene. And I want to start off first with the Heat. The Heat are on fire. They are the hottest team, living up to their name. They're the hottest team in the NBA right now. They've won 5 in a row. They just got Tyler Hero back from his injury and surgery that he had on his ankle. Mm-hmm. He's playing great. They're right now one of the top 3 teams in the Eastern Conference. Mm-hmm. I think that and they did this with Tyler Hero injured and Bam Adebayo was also injured. So they were able to do this with their 2 top players on out. So they are actually playing really, really well. And I think it's mainly because they got a guy named Norman Powell, who is kind of the guy that they wanted to replace Jimmy Butler. And I'll tell you, I think he's better than Jimmy Butler. This guy is lights out.
Well, I got to tell you one thing.
Three
I
buckets.
believe that the Heat have missed a terrible marketing program there with a guy like Bam, whatever his last name is, that they don't find a player named Pebbles.
Bam Bam and Pebbles,
Pebbles,
right?
there you go.
Well,
Anyway,
thank you,
next
ma'am.
sport.
Next sport, we're going to go Florida Panthers. Florida Panthers have won 5 out of 7, and they're getting ready to start a 6-game homestand right now. And their top player is Sam Reinhart, which he's always been their top scorer. Big in the playoffs, and they're starting to figure out how to play without Sasha Barkov, because Sasha Barkov did so much for this team. He led the league in faceoffs. He got the award for the best defensive forward in the league. He was defender on the other team's top player. He guarded McDavid in the Stanley Cup Finals and shut him down. And when you lose a player like that, it's very hard to replace, and he's not coming back this season. So, but we're expecting Kachuk to be back from injury. There's just a lot of the Panthers have dealt with a lot of injuries, but they've got reinforcements coming. These guys are getting better, and they're coming back. But they're playing really well without them, and that's how you make a good team. When your star players go down, the rest of the guys stand up. So when the star player comes back, that team is just that much better because they were able to deal with it.
And let's face it, Sasha Barkov's got the best 1970s professional wrestling bad guy name, Sasha Barkov. Against Dusty, the American Dream Rhodes.
The American Dream.
Okay,
All
what
right,
else? Anything else? Got anything else?
Next team is the Miami Hurricanes. Will they or will they not make the playoffs? That's the question. They have to go beat Pitt. If they can beat Pitt, the only way I see them getting into the playoffs is if they can win the ACC championship game. If they can win that game, then they have a shot at getting into the playoffs. But, being 12th in the standings, they were as high as 2. I think it's a long shot for them to make the playoffs.
No, their spot's going to be given to Notre Dame, even though Miami beat Notre Dame. But Notre
Dame,
I
think that's a bunch of bullshit. Right?
It's bullshit, but that's what's going to happen.
The problem is they ranked Miami not too low at the very beginning, right? Well, and then we beat Notre Dame, and so I don't know what's happened to college football, but when it's on the field and it's head to head, that took precedent over everything. I don't care if we both end up 11-2, and there's some decisions to be made between the two teams by the committee. The head to head always took precedent, right? Their Heisman Trophy candidate ran 30 yards in that game. We made him look like a nobody in that game. Right?
College football is a business, and when the committee gets down to it, and you got to choose between University of Miami and Notre Dame, you're gonna pick Notre Dame. That's where the money is.
That is baloney.
Well, it's true. Well, yeah, I don't like it either, but that's where the money is. All right.
Yeah. That's 2 years in a row, by the way. We had we're asking the United States and really the college football world, is Miami good enough to be in the playoffs? And Miami is definitely one of the best teams in the United States. They have earned over 2 seasons. This isn't the first time. This is the second season we come up to this and we get bumped, right? And so Miami's had a good team for more than 2 years now. And they got bumped last year, and they're going to get bumped again this year. And really, the idea is to put the best teams in there, and Miami's definitely one of the best teams.
But it's like you said, the only way the Hurricanes are getting into the playoffs is they win the ACC championship.
That's not going to happen because we got to beat Pitt, and then like Virginia and SMU and Duke has to lose.
Yeah.
So it's like an 8% chance.
It's a long shot. It's a long shot.
All right.
There's a parlay. I see a parlay going on, right? Put $100 on that.
Guys, I think we're
a couple of shout outs here real fast.
Go.
Shout out to Inter Miami with Leo Messi. They are playing at home for the Eastern Conference Final in the MLS playoffs championship. So there's a good chance that Inter Miami could win the championship this year. And then my other shout out is the FIU Golden Panthers, who with their first year, Willie Simmons as their head coach, has taken them to a bowl game. They're going to be playing in a bowl game. So that's a couple of shout outs there.
Congrats to them.
All right.
Yeah.
Congrats to them.
And
I like the scene. I think we're going to be, after the Dolphins season's over, I think we might be doing the scene during the off season. Maybe having a little fun with that, you know?
Let's not forget, though, we also have men's basketball and women's basketball going on. The Hurricanes for men's basketball is 5-1. They're doing great. Great start.
Yep.
The Lady Canes, 4-1. Here we go.
All right.
All right.
Guys, I got some breaking news just in time. We're about to sign off here, but breaking news. Miami Dolphins long snapper Joe Cardona has signed a $1.42 million contract for this year. Okay.
Team MVP.
$1.4 million to throw a ball between his legs a few times a week.
Give him a raise.
It's a big deal.
Guys, we made some poor choices when we were young.
I'm not big enough.
Still have a
And
chance.
Nick's not big enough either, just so you know.
Like us, hit like, subscribe, follow, give us some questions, follow us on social media, show us the love. We need it. We'll see you next week. Oh, Jeff even had notes. You see, we're professionals. We have notes. I just need a new cameraman here. My regular Scorsese. We'll see you next week after a Dolphin victory. We're the Fintastic-4. Nick, Jose, Jeff. Say bye, guys.
Bye, guys.